What is going on YouTube? Rodrigo here, and today we're gonna go ahead and talk about what's been going on with me and my training. So let's get started. Now, we are officially 12 weeks, well, we were 12 weeks out a week ago, so now we're about 11 weeks out from Nationals. So that puts us at competing on April 1st. Clearly you can tell I haven't done this in a while, so bear with me. But yes, we're competing April 1st at the Powerlifting America Nationals. And obviously the goal is to win. That way we qualify for IPF Worlds. And then compete there, and we'll see what happens then, but one step at a time, of course. So like I said, we're 11 weeks out. I already started my meet prep this past Monday. Today's Sunday. It is January 16th. So 12 weeks out, getting ready for Nationals. And so the main thing that I wanted to do during these 12 weeks is to essentially provide some insight, some content into my training, into my thought process, all of those things as it relates to getting ready for Nationals. And so, I want to keep this video a little bit more short and sweet. Essentially, I'm just gonna go ahead and outline what's going on with my training, and we'll jump into more specifics, as the weeks progress. So the main thing that we're gonna cover in terms of my training is really the outline of it all, right? That way I give you all some context of how I am planning my prep, how you can potentially plan your prep, or it also plan, it doesn't have to be a prep, but also just plan a training cycle. So what I am doing is I am taking those 12 weeks and I've broken them down into 3 blocks of 4 weeks each. So obviously every block of 4 weeks is a mesocycle, and there's 3 of those, and the 3 of them combined, so the 12 weeks equates to that macro cycle, or the bigger picture of it all. And so generally what I like to do, and I have had very, very good results from, is I generally like to start the first block or the first mesocycle predominantly with lower exertion work. Even though I have singles, practice singles, back down sets, things of that nature, top sets, depending on the day. They're all relatively low they're definitely low in terms of the absolute load or intensity, right? So the weight on the bar. But they're moderately, intense in terms of the RPE, or the actual exertion of the movement. So obviously, with that being said, the intensity as a whole is capped or limited, because my primary concern or my primary focus on the first mesocycle is to increase my work capacity, focus on a little bit more total volume, get that practice in, before I start to transition into a little bit more higher intensity, higher, absolute loads on the bar. Obviously as the meet day, comes closer, then we have to make sure that we're practicing, moving weight at a heavier intensity, of course. That's the whole name of the game as far as powerlifting. Practicing, refining that 1 rep max skill as the day progresses, as the weeks progress, as you get closer to competition. So again, that's the main focus right now for this particular block / mesocycle. So in terms of my singles for this week, I started with the training cycle with a single on bench press at 165 kilos, 225 on squat, and 270 kilos on deadlift. So that basically equals a 660 kilo total for the week. And that's, for me, that's a pretty good start, especially because all of those singles are what we call low, intensity RPE, 6 to 7 max. And so for me to have 12 weeks to build upon that is a very good sign. My goal ultimately is to cap off the entire macro cycle, or the entire meet prep, with a likely, with a 10 to 15% increase on this week's total. So if I have a 660 kilo total or weekly total this week, and my goal is 10% better than that by the end of the training cycle, I'm looking at a 726 kilo weekly total. Now I said, 10 to 15%, it just really depends on, my ability to recover, and stay healthy throughout the meet prep. So obviously those results are pending, but we're obviously gonna take what's there, on the day-to-day basis, on the week-to-week basis, just to make sure that we stay nice and healthy and get to the meet so we can perform the day of. But overall, that's basically where I'm starting. I am, just to give a little bit more context in terms of my training, like I said, 3-4 week blocks. However, in terms of what I'm doing on a weekly basis, I am currently benching 4 times a week. We have a primary, I want to say 2 primary days, but not really, in terms of the absolute load. It's going to be a primary, a secondary, a tertiary, and a quaternary exposure, right? So I don't know if that's how you say it. We're squatting 3 times a week, so primary, secondary, and tertiary, and then deadlifting twice a week, primary and secondary. So that's basically what I wanted to cover in terms of my training for this particular week. Just give an outline, give a general, understanding of what's going on with my training and how I have broken up my prep to get me ready for nationals in 11 weeks out. So if you enjoyed this video and are looking forward to some more content, please make sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and of course share it with a friend or 2 if you found this video helpful in any way. So I'll see you all in the next video.